Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Devin, and today we are taking a hard look at the newly announced Robinson R66 NxG. Not only what it is, why they built it, why now, and what it means for Robinson. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know I'm not just gonna throw hype around to something that doesn't deserve it. I am a working pilot, not a brand ambassador. So today we are going to break down the NxG from a real world perspective, the good, the bad, the strange, and the strategic. Let's get into it. On the surface, the NxG looks like a fun facelift for the R66. They put some new paint on it, better seats, some upgraded avionics, but what might seem like a small change is actually a major strategic shift for Robinson. Let's start with the cockpit. Robinson ditched the traditional analog gauges and they went with an all-glass digital cockpit. I'll throw up some pictures right here on screen so you can see what I'm talking about, but from what I understand, there are two versions of this instrument panel. There is a dual GDU 700 display, and then there's one that has a GDU 700 and then a larger GDU 1060. And personally, I think these displays and this cockpit layout looks so good. I mean, obviously Garmin makes some phenomenal products, but I think Robinson really did a fantastic job with this cockpit layout. You have great visibility out the front, but I just think the avionics panel just looks really clean, really modern. It just looks incredible. It's exceptional. I am definitely a fan of what they did here. But Robinson didn't stop there. This part is huge. They added a Garmin GFC 600H autopilot. And this is going to be standard in all three versions of the NxG. A lot of people underestimate this, but it's a really big deal and a step up in capability. Obviously, the most impactful area is inadvertent IMC. If you go into the clouds, and autopilot doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to survive and you're going to be okay, but it increases your chances significantly that you will survive. A huge part that I love about this system is there is a single button level mode. So let's say you get disoriented or confused or you panic or you have spatial disorientation. You press one button and that'll bring the helicopter to a level attitude. That itself is profoundly huge. That is a major increase in safety. Inadvertent IMC is still one of the main killers of helicopter pilots and causes of helicopter accidents. So to have one button and it just brings the helicopter to a level attitude is like, it's huge. And beyond like an inadvertent IMC emergency, it also just reduces fatigue, which increases safety. Before, I flew helicopters that had autopilot, like when I flew the R22 or the R44, those didn't have autopilot. I thought that autopilots like kind of took away from the helicopter flying experience. I was like, the airlines, those use air autopilots, but helicopters don't really need autopilots. But then I started doing longer flights. I was doing a lot of single pilot operations, charters, all of those long flights, and I realized how important it is to have an autopilot, not just in like bad weather, but it lets you breathe. If you need to pull up something on the iPad, if you need to pull up a radio frequency, if you need to look at charts, if you need to load stuff into the GPS, having that autopilot just reduces workload. Yes, you still have to understand how to use it and how to use it safely because it can fly you into the ground, but if you know how to use it, it definitely increases safety and reduces your workload. And quickly, I just wanted to talk about this with the NxG is this bird strike and the windshield that they put on this. I will throw this video up on screen. I don't know if you guys saw this video. I don't remember if it was an R44 or an R66, but still, bird strikes are a huge deal. Yes, it's gonna ruin your day and mess up your flight, but it legit could be life or death because if that bird comes in and hits you, that could knock you out and that could cause you to have an accident, obviously. So having a stronger polycarbonate windshield, which is going to better accept bird strikes and it won't crack, big deal. Another update they put on this is they have LED landing lights that pulse. These are another like kind of small change, but it actually has a pretty big impact. Pulse mode, like those landing lights that have a pulse mode, make you more visible to other aircraft, but also to birds. They can reduce bird strikes by allowing the bird to see the helicopter, which is good for the bird and it's also good for you. They also put air conditioning as a standard feature on all the versions. I think that's great. Yes, it makes passengers more comfortable, but it also reduces fatigue and reduces pilot workload when you are in a comfortable and climate controlled environment. That's a big deal. All right, so let's be clear. The NxG does not change what the R66 is. It doesn't change how it flies. The R66 has always been a capable aircraft. It has a strong engine, relatively low operating costs, very good and clean maintenance, but it was quite dated. This helicopter came out in 2000 2010, and it kind of feels like it. The NxG really just switches up the feeling of the helicopter. Let's talk about the interiors. This is where Robinson made one of the biggest and boldest changes. The new NxG comes with 3 trim packages. They have what they call the Southwood, the Palo Verde, and the Riviera. Each one has its own distinct feel. Alcantara headliners, custom stitching, leather seats, bold and elegant color palettes, real materials, real craftsmanship. This is not like putting lipstick on a pig. This is a full reimagining of what a Robinson helicopter can feel like. It is no longer just a turbine version of the R44. It is a turbine helicopter that now looks and feels the part. They even updated the exterior paint options, metallic finishes, matte finishes, color schemes that really pop. I'll throw these on screen right now. They are beautiful, and that matters. If you are a charter operation, when you have a client walk up to the helicopter and they say, whoa, this is a beautiful helicopter, that really matters. This is Robinson leaning into luxury, and that leads to the real question, why release this now? The R66 has been around, like I said, since 2010. It did not dominate its class like the R44 did. It is a solid machine, capable, reliable, and affordable, but it was never like the obvious choice. Robinson has mostly stayed in its lane, affordable, simple, practical. So why did they pivot now? Now, this is just my opinion, my thoughts. I have no insider knowledge. This is just what I think they're doing. I think this is all about timing, and this is a strategic shift. There is a new player on the horizon, and it's making a ton of noise. If you have spent any time on my channel, you know I talk a lot about the Hill HX50. I want them to succeed. I want to get that across. I hope that they are able to do it, but I also think that this is a massively over-promised project. New engine, in-house avionics, incredible interior. I will link to a video right here that you can go watch about my Hill HX50, the thoughts I currently have about it. I'm just very skeptical about it. They have extremely attractive options, and the helicopter looks beautiful, and the price point they're promising is like incredible. I am just extremely skeptical. Getting a helicopter from mock-up to prototype to actually being produced is huge. If you ask any manufacturer, it is just a massively hard problem. But here's the question, what if the Hill HX50 keeps getting delayed, or what if it never actually comes to market? Like, what if it just doesn't come about? Well, Robinson has the answer. They are setting the table quietly. There's not a ton of press. They're not pushing it like super hard, but they're saying if you want a sleek, modern, affordable helicopter, something that you can have right now from a legacy manufacturer who has produced tons of aircraft powered by an engine with over 1 million flight hours that has never had an engine failure, you can fly this beautiful, brand new, extremely modern, luxurious helicopter right now. If the Hill HX50 doesn't happen, and if Hill can't deliver the product, a lot of people are still gonna want this modern, luxurious helicopter, and Robinson is gonna be ready with the NxG. Now, the NxG, like I said, does not change the fundamentals. It is still an R66 at its core. It has a 2-bladed rotor system. It's got a T-bar cyclic, same cabin dimensions, same baggage compartment, very lightweight airframe, and for some people, those are deal breakers, and I understand. A 2-bladed system is definitely cheaper to maintain and cheaper to operate, but objectively, they're more susceptible to low G, mass bumping, way more susceptible in turbulence. It is not necessarily more dangerous if you fly it properly, but it is not the same as a 3 or 4-bladed helicopter. It just isn't. But the thing is, the R66 never claimed to be. It never tried to be an EC130. It always fit a certain niche. But I just want to say this real quick about that T-bar cyclic. I have to say, with these new interiors, the T-bar actually looks phenomenal. I think it looks so good. I don't know what did it specifically, changing the seats, the trim, the colors, the instrument panel, but this cyclic just pops. It finally kind of looks like it belongs. Maybe that's just because it's not so industrial now, it's not so rugged. I just think it looks so much better. But love it or hate it, that is just the reality, and they are not going to change it. So no, the R66 NxG is not a new design. They're not coming up with something really new, but it's all about identity. They are changing the identity. This is what the R66 always should have been. It's modern, it's sexy, it's refined, it's clean, it's comfortable, it's capable, it's a turbine helicopter, it's got good value. Clients care about first impressions. When the aircraft looks premium, it adds value and people want to fly it. For private owners, this makes the R66 feel like they chose it. They went with something really luxurious. It is not just a compromise because it's a cheap turbine. And for the rest of the industry, this is a signal. Robinson is not giving up. They are fighting back. There's a bunch of competitors coming, but they're gonna keep innovating. Obviously with the R88, but with this NxG. This is a machine that you can fly today that's beautiful. You can compare it to helicopters like the H130. That is a bigger, heavier, more powerful helicopter, but that is a multi-million-dollar helicopter with a higher fuel burn, more expensive maintenance. The Bell 505 is kind of similar in a very similar category, but the cabin does not feel as high-end as the R66 NxG does. The Hill HX50, they are promising everything. They are promising the moon, but until it is certified, the NxG is the better helicopter because it's real. Compared to all those other platforms, the NxG offers something different. It is relatively low cost, a very proven platform from a proven manufacturer, very reliable manufacturer with a very proven engine, and now they have just made it premium. For the people that want a premium helicopter, Robinson has this. It is a big step forward. It doesn't have to be perfect. That is not what the R66 is claiming to be, but I think this helicopter has the potential to change the market. So what's the takeaway? The R66 NxG is not a revolution. They didn't fundamentally change what Robinson is doing, but it is a well-timed and well-executed evolution. In a world full of renderings and vaporware, this is real. This is a real helicopter that you can go buy, and I respect it. I don't think this is going to change everyone's mind. Some pilots are always going to want like a Bell product, an Airbus product. That's okay. But for those that want a sleek, capable, modern aircraft with a touch of class and modern avionics, the NxG hits the mark. This is no longer just a budget turbine helicopter. This finally feels like a expensive, modern, classy aircraft that people are going to want to fly. Now, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think the NxG is a big change? Would you take this over a Hill helicopter, an EC130? Is the two-bladed rotor system a deal breaker? I understand that people have very intense feelings about it. What do you think? Is that a deal breaker for this? The T-bar cyclic? What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.